with the intro on this, but I feel like the Mrs. Doubtfire hello is my thing. So hi, I'm Ashley Himes
I'm
from.
Katie.
Oh,
I gotta restart.
Yeah, that's great. I'm Ashley Himes from Rooted Life Collective, and this is.
My name's Katie Bolton, and I own Ember Beam, a candle company here in Sydney.
And we're really excited because so Rooted Life Collective has our Rooted Life Collective space, event space, and Bible study space and community space here in Sydney, Ohio. But in Piqua, we have the Rooted Life Collective store that's going to be opening in less than a month, and with women's apparel, some supplements, and candles. And I'm really excited because about a few days ago, I put a post on Facebook asking who has a candle company that they would want to consign inside of the Rooted Life space. And overnight, I had like 15 messages saying I could do candles, and I was very overwhelmed by the response. And so I prayed about it that night. I said, all right, Lord, like this is overwhelming. Just give me the answers. And I had briefly looked at all the messages that I had received and was like, how am I going to make a choice? And that next morning, I woke up and Katie's messages were on my heart. And I just said, so I reached out to her, and then she kind of told me she started her candle company after going through a hard time or just out of a kind of a dark period of her life. And so today I asked her to come in so we could talk, and I learned her story, and I'm like, I have to share this with people. We have to get on here. So here we are, organically in the Rooted Life podcast room.
Yeah.
And so share like your story, because there were so many good God things in this.
Yeah, and thank you for having me. So I started Ember Beam after my own personal loss. I had experienced an ectopic pregnancy. I didn't even know that I was pregnant at the time. And when I had came in, they had mentioned that if I was just even an hour later, I wouldn't be here. And that really woke me up on how to, pay attention to your body and just, to be present and everything. And it took very long months past that to really get over like what happened, how did that happen to me, and like I was blaming myself for something that I didn't cause, like it just happened. And I had other 4 children at home that I needed to be there for, and a husband, and I was not able to be there like a mom needs to be there for their kids. And that was really hard for me to even just do daily tasks. And when I had first met my husband, I had always enjoyed candles, and I had even told him, like on a vacation, on one of our first vacations, that I'm going to have my candles in a store someday, and like I'm going to have this. And obviously, it didn't happen right away. Life had other things and planned for me first. And I really took from what had happened to me to grow into something beautiful, because I couldn't live in darkness or hard times anymore. And I started Ember Beam. Ember would have been a baby name that I would have picked out for her, that I believe was a girl. I remember, being asleep one night and then being woken up, and to this baby beside me, and it was a girl. And, I could feel that, and I kept hearing the word ember, and that's where the embers part of it came from, for the Ember Beam. And from there, like that next day, I just started researching candles, and I'm like, no, like with me being a mom, I need the best thing for my kids. And, my kids are consistently around me. And I knew that I needed to start something that I couldn't just leave the house and go work. Like that just wasn't feasible.
Yeah.
So I really did a lot of late nights of researching what's good. Like, why are these other candle brands not doing great? And like, I think it was at a time where I saw another candle company, like their candles were exploding and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh, well, that can't be great. So I really started researching candles, and then I bought stuff, and it really took several candles to make the perfect candle, which that candle, that was my first scent that I ever created. And that first candle that I ever made that did terrible, like that did not burn right or anything, I have that on my shelf that I look at every day because that is a reminder of where you, like, you grow, like where you've came from, you know, and who you was yesterday is not who you are today. And, you know, I really wanted other people to succeed and, you know, not, it seems like these hard times are going to last forever, but there's only 24 hours in a day. And the next day, you know, it's a new day and it's a fresh start. And to just keep going. And, you know, I really want to help be the light of everybody's life and let them know that these hard times do not last. And really help create something for them because, you know, scent holds memory. And I want people to remember the good times, you know, too, and that there are better days ahead, and that these hard times are going to help shape you into something really great and help, you know, other people to maybe start their own business of their own.
Yes.
Something that they've felt that maybe they couldn't do, but they can do. You know, like life is full of opportunities, and to, you know, if there's anything that I've learned is to, like, if you see something, go for it. You know, like her post, and I was tagged in that as well, and I was like, thank you, like I needed that. And things always happen when they're meant to happen for you. I really believe that.
I agree.
And, you know, I'm just here to help every person, you know, that I meet to inspire to live an amazing life and to get through anything, because you can and you will.
And I just think, like, too, when she was telling me this story, I was thinking, one, like, just the symbolism there in the name Ember, like this thing that happened, this terrible thing of, you know, losing a baby that isn't, you know, developed, and then having that vision or that dream about her being beside your bed and her having a name Ember, and how Ember is like the spark in a fire, right? It's like, and if you fan that ember, right, it's gonna turn into a flame. And like, that's what's happened in this story physically, is that what started as ember, and what am I passionate about? I love candles, and you fan that flame, and that became you spending days and weeks and nights just building something that you, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm good at making candles. Like, that's, I think we hear that a lot. People say like, well, I'm not good at something. Like, I'm not good at podcasting. If you've watched this podcast thus far, we're on, think, episode 3, and not great at it yet, but it's something I feel passionately about. It's something I wanted to do. It's something you wanted to do. And the fact that you just took a passion and grit, you know, and you fanned that flame, and now it's turned into a candle. And now, you know, just the way God works too in this, the story of just how my ministry, or what my mission has been, is helping other women rise. And that's what I do in my business, is, you know, empowering women who were making very little pay, and who were, you know, just living average lives, and making them breadwinners, and helping them become the best version of themselves, and developing, and also like giving women opportunities to open stores and to run businesses and to dream and to think big. And she said to me when she came in here, I want to go big. And I'm like, yes, girl, like that's my type of girl. And so just the way that God put those puzzle pieces together, I just can feel that, you know, putting your candles in the store and just giving you that platform to speak.
Yeah.
And to just partner with other strong businesswomen. Like,
I'm really excited for my future, and I know it's, going to be full of ups and downs, but I believe in my product, and my product, we use coconut apricot wax, so it's clean burning.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
And the wicks are actually sourced from fruit trees here in the United States. So I love that.
Okay, let me just talk to you guys about this candle really quick. So this one is called an afternoon mojito, and tell us like how you come up with your names too.
So I learned, and we all learn, anything can change in a moment, and I really wanted to be different from everybody else, all these other candle makers, the big ones and stuff. What is going to make me different? And I'm my story is very emotional. I try to be very connect level with everybody that I meet, because I want to know everybody's story. And I was like, I want something that people are going to read that really is going to gravitate towards them, and to be like, yes, this reminds me of something I've gone through, or again, my an afternoon mojito, it's something that you can enjoy with your friends, or I, not just because you like mojitos, but it's something like a memory, an enjoyable moment. That's all what it's all about, is enjoyable moments. My scent names.
So she talked about that. She was telling me that how scent carries memory, and so I'm like, okay, what's this one called? And it's an afternoon mojito. So I open this up and I close my eyes and I take a whiff, right? And first of all, let me tell you, it's delightful. It smells so just fresh and also citrusy. It's got just a sweet tang, citrus, such a light smell. And I love that in a candle. It just makes, but more importantly, as I close my eyes, I literally could visualize myself sitting on a patio drinking a mojito in Yellow Springs is where I was. My brain took me to Yellow Springs because I used to go drink mojitos there back in my drinking days. But literally, it takes me there, And so when you said that, I'm like, okay, let's see. Does it just smell like a candle, or does it smell like an afternoon mojito?
Yeah, it definitely smells.
I get it. It got me there. So I'm obsessed with this candle. And
I think that, and I'll read the last sentence of my sit cards. The aroma is bright, refreshing, and leaves you wanting more.
That's how I feel.
And I want people to when they light the candle, and when it's done lighting, to really want more, for themselves, and just, live a very positive life, and just know that everything's going to be okay. And
also too, I want to talk about the non-toxic feature of this. So for me, I'm a mom, and I went through my own health journey about 3 years ago, where I really started to understand the importance of what you put on your body. I had a shampoo I was using, and I had really bad migraines, and I was getting a rash on my head, a lesion on my head, and my lymph node was all swollen. And I went to the doctor. They put me on antibiotics. They gave me steroids. They were like, nothing's wrong with you. My headaches were getting so severe. I had MRI, EKG. They did everything that they could think of, and still said there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, I know me. I don't feel this way. There has to be an explanation. And so one day in the shower, I was praying, Lord, give me the answer. What is wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? What are we doing here? And I looked up, and my eye caught my label on my shampoo bottle. It said hops on it. Because I have curly hair. I had really curly hair before my last pregnancy. And I'm allergic to hops. And so I was like, oh my goodness. So I pull the shampoo off the shelf, and I'm like, throw that in the trash. And within a week, I was completely back to normal. And here it turns out that just putting something that I had an intolerance to and an allergic reaction to on my body unintentionally because hops helps girls, but it didn't help Ashley.
No.
And but then I started to think about, man, if this shampoo was causing me migraines and fatigue and inflammation and like as horrible I was feeling, what other things am I putting on my body?
Right.
You know, and so I started to research the effect of like your skin is your largest organ, right? And I started to research the effects of those things. And so at that point, I made the choice to move completely to non-toxic products. I moved my face stuff, my shampoo, my perfume. I use a brand that is completely non-toxic and clean, and my candles. And I did it for my kids too, because I mean, my daughters were having horrible period cramps, just a lot of skin issues, eczema, acne, and like, you don't know the effect of how all those things, people who tell me they have migraines all the time and you walk in their house and they got Glade plugins on the wall and you're like, you're constantly ingesting those kind of things into your body. So when I also saw your brand and you said what is it, apricot?
Coconut and apricot.
That just makes me so happy.
Yeah.
And just how good it smells and knowing that I'm not poisoning my family, like, for me, that's everything.
And you have a nice little crackling aroma from the wooden wicks made from fruit trees.
Even better.
Yeah. And I think too, like people, like, you know, they get caught up in the convenience part of going to Walmart and or Kroger's or wherever to be like, I'm having friends over, my house needs to smell good. So they just grabbed towards, you know, like those couple dollar wax melts or couple dollar candles, but yes, they're budget friendly, but they're also not doing great things to your home as well as like yourself, you know, full of paraffin and harsh really scents that make those scents. They're not good for you,
right?
And so like, you know, I'm really trying to let people to be aware of like, it's even like the simple things, you know, that you buy are not good for you. So, you know, I'm, you know, having clean candles, you know, and they are available in wax melts as well.
And she's got room sprays. Yeah, and she's even like gonna make some soap and stuff.
So hand soap. So it's,
we're gonna be all clean.
So yeah, so just really help people, you know, I want you to live longer. Yeah. And like live healthy, you know, not just with the mind, you know, like your whole body, you know, like, you know, live very healthy.
I love it. And now this right here is like the headliner. So she, when I knew when she sent me this picture that we were going to be partners, that we were going to do things. Yeah, because she sent me this beautiful cross candle. And by the way, like as soon as I opened this, the aroma just filled the whole room. Like it's not even burning and I can smell it. I smelled it. We set it on the table in the middle of the Rooted Life. And the whole time we were conversating, and it's probably 6 feet away from me, 8 feet away from me, I could smell it the whole time. So it just, even being nearby, was like permeating the air. But also, isn't it beautiful?
Stunning.
And you can have it refilled, right?
Yep, you can either have it refilled, or it's very simple to clean out. Like once you're done burning your candles, you can clean it out and have it as like just a beautiful catch-all dish. Or centerpiece, just another decor item.
I love it.
So, and they really make really amazing gifts for...
What was the smell again?
This one's called Flowers in the Forest.
Oh, yes.
It's like a very light peony smell. And I do have, you know, a lot of people love that scent.
It's so fresh and floral and clean. Like, it literally, like... It makes me think of like a Downy dryer sheet even, but like clean version.
Yeah, maybe we'll come up with that next.
Yeah, like it makes me feel like I just pulled something fresh out of the laundry and like it's got that slight flowery but just clean.
Yes.
So like, I'm obsessed with this candle and I bought this. So like literally she brought it in and I'm like, oh, I'm keeping that. So you're gonna have to make something different for the store. Yeah. I'm like, that's mine now.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I just think, again, I just can't reiterate enough, like, just how this came from, you know, a dark place in your life. And so, like, Rooted Life is that is the whole message of Rooted Life, is that when I have a blog post called Planted, Not Buried. And it was a really, really dark time of my life when I went through my divorce. And I was in misery. A lot of bad things were happening around me. I was scared, I was anxious, I was lonely. I didn't have a lot of places to turn, and I was so depressed and in such a bad place. And it was in that time, I made a lot of wrong turns in that time. I did a lot of things I wasn't proud of, but it was about that time I finally just, spoke to God and said, like, where are you? I need you. And I just started to pray, and someone gave me actually the John Maxwell Leadership Bible. They said, I think you need this. I feel like the Lord is telling you to give you this. And I started praying, and I started reading the Bible, and I started talking to my community. I'm a very private person, always used to be. And I always held everything in because I was a perfectionist, and I felt like people aren't going to realize you're not perfect and they're all going to hate you, And so I started praying and worship, and I changed churches, and where I really felt like I was getting discipleship training. And in about 6 months, 12 months, like my whole life was completely in a different spot. And that's when I felt the calling. And I talked about in this blog about how the tulip was a vision that God gave me. It's my tattoo. It's on my mural on my building. But the tulip vision that God gave me was that in that moment where the tulip bulb is planted in the fall, and it sits there all winter long, just in dark, in the cold, in the dark, not really knowing what its purpose is. And it's sitting there. And if you're a tulip bulb, you're like, this is the worst thing ever. I'm packed in the dirt, it's cold, it's dark, like what's happening? But it's at that moment that the tulip within a few weeks starts to sprout roots. And those roots in your life should be things like your community and your passion, your candles, in the Lord, in prayer, in worship, in those things. And it was then from that time where I felt like I deeply rooted into my faith, that now that is sprouting. That is sprouted. And now it's becoming a tree. And a branch of this tree is now branching into candles and apparel and a store and the Rooted Life space. And it's from your darkness that you're, growing into this fruitful business.
So if you are listening, and if you feel like you're going through a hard time right now, know that it's okay. And there's so much to grow. And, I keep going back to like a day is only 24 hours, but it feels so much longer when you're going through it. But, there's so much beauty, like once you go through those dark times, and just being there for others, and just to be in like that little safe space and what you created here and stuff. It's so amazing. And really excited to see the community get so much bigger and better, and supportive with everybody. And I really think that this is going to be amazing for Sydney and Piqua and surrounding areas.
I agree. And speaking of that too, we're going to be doing an event, right? Probably end of August. We're going to be doing a candle making event. So keep an eye on the Rooted Life page, and follow, what's the name of your business? Ember Beam. So follow her business, follow Rooted Life, look for updates on events, sign up. You can make a cross candle, or you can make one of the other candles that they have. There'll be different things available. But it's more than just creating a candle, right? We're creating a memory. We're creating we're going to have Bible verses that are associated with those candles. So we're going to take you through kind of a whole experience, a little Bible study mixed in with the candle making. And so keep an eye out for that, because we're excited to have you be part of it.
It's going to be beautiful for sure.
Well, I thank you for coming in. It's so good meeting you and talking to you and sharing this in common.